What if I told you this? Every time you remember yesterday, you're bleeding. Bleeding energy, bleeding focus, bleeding control. And the worst part? You don't even feel the wound. You think it's just reflection, just processing, and just understanding what happened. But no, it's a silent addiction. You're not reviewing, you're relapsing. Every time you replay the argument you lost, every time you rehearse what you should have said, or wish you could go back and fix what's already rotting behind you, you're giving your power to a moment that doesn't even exist anymore. That's the trap. You think pain has meaning, but sometimes pain is just noise, a loop, a virus in the mind. The past is not a lesson, it's a test, to see if you'll get stuck there. Marcus Aurelius didn't let the past rot his discipline. He wrote to himself, "Each day provides its own gifts." Not yesterday's weight, not tomorrow's fantasy, just the ruthless silence of now. That was his edge. He started every day like this. "I am nothing. The world owes me nothing, but I will act with reason and purpose, because that is what a disciplined mind does." That's what made him dangerous. That's what made him unbreakable, not armor. Amnesia. You want strength? Start there. Kill yesterday. You think you need closure, but here's the truth. Closure is a lie sold to the weak. You don't need closure. You need direction. You need to wake up with a blade in your mind. Sharp, focused, cold. Because in this war, the man who resets fastest wins. Let them cling to what happened. Let them replay old stories. You are not a victim. You are the architect of the next hour. Burn the past. Build from ashes. This is Stoic Spark. We don't heal through hope. We dominate through detachment. If you're still watching, you're different. You're not here for soft motivation. You're here to train your mind like a weapon. Comment below right now. I am reborn. I forget the past. I control the now. Like this video if that hit your core. And if your mind is ready for war, subscribe, turn on the notifications. Because the next video won't just inspire you, it'll reprogram you. Number 1, the power of reset. Every dawn is a clean slate. What if I told you that right now, this very second, you hold the scalpel to your mind? Every sunrise hands you permission to carve away the old, to amputate regret, to start surgically fresh. The Stoics taught that time itself is indifferent. They didn't dwell on what happened. They focused solely on what they could control, their thoughts, their actions, their will. Marcus Aurelius woke each morning and rehearsed this mantra in his mind. I begin again. I shed the ghosts of yesterday. I choose my attitude. In his meditations, he reminds himself that life is a river, ever flowing, never returning. Trying to recapture yesterday is like reaching backwards into the current. You'll drown in the whirlpool of your own hesitation. Reset isn't a suggestion, it's a command. Here's how you enforce it. Mental blank slate. The moment your eyes open, refuse to scroll, refuse to replay, refuse to ruminate. Instead, inhale deeply and mentally say, all is new. That phrase severs the cord to past errors. Dispassionate inventory. Spend 30 seconds observing any lingering emotion, guilt, fear, shame. Name it, acknowledge it, then file it away. Like closing a drawer. You don't destroy it. You store it for deconstruction later, when it can do no harm. Immediate micro-victory. Before the world can inject chaos, secure a small win. Make your bed. Do 10 push-ups. Write 1 sentence of your plan. That single action sends a chemical signal in your brain. I am in control. Recode your intent. State your mission for the day in a single cold sentence. Today, I will act with purpose. By wording it in the present tense, you lock your mind into action. No excuses, no yesterday. This is not fluff. It is a psychological boot camp. Reset at dawn, and you nullify every ghost that wanted to sabotage you. If you're already feeling that shift, comment now. All is new. I command today. Feel that spark in your chest. That's the power of reset. It's the difference between living life by default and forging your destiny with intent. Remember, mastery isn't built in the grand gesture. It's forged in these daily rituals. You kill regret through ritual. You extinguish doubt through discipline. At the end of this video, you'll have 10 weapons in your mental arsenal. This reset protocol is your first. If you haven't yet, hit that like button to lock in your commitment. And if you refuse to be a slave to your own mind, subscribe and turn on notifications, because every strategy we share will strip away weakness. Number 2. Marcus Aurelius's mental rituals, discipline before emotion. Before Rome rose, Marcus rose. He didn't check letters, he didn't speak to servants, he didn't even acknowledge the empire, because the first battle was always internal. Each morning he trained his mind like a soldier sharpens his blade, deliberately, coldly, without exception. This wasn't optional, it was war. You want mastery? Study his rituals. 1. Premeditatio malorum, anticipate the attack. Before the sun touched the marble floors of his chamber, Marcus would whisper to himself, "Today I will encounter selfishness, betrayal, arrogance, envy." He didn't do this to complain. He did it to prepare. He assumed resistance. He welcomed difficulty, because what's expected can't break you. Before you touch your phone, say aloud, "I expect chaos. I remain calm." This is how you armor the mind. 2. Self-silencing, starve the ego. Marcus could have been the loudest man in any room. Instead, he wrote in secret. He questioned himself. He dismantled his thoughts. He didn't seek admiration. He sought clarity. This is what people don't understand about Stoic dominance. Power doesn't come from proving, it comes from pruning. Remove what is not essential, remove the noise, speak less, observe more, and when you do speak, make it surgical. 3. Death as a motivator, the cold reminder. Every morning he reminded himself, you could leave life right now, let that determine what you do, say, and think. Most people fear death. Marcus used it as fuel, not because he was obsessed with endings, but because it made every choice today urgent. You don't waste time when you understand it's borrowed. Look at your hands, your voice, your breath. All of it can be gone tomorrow. So act like it. These weren't just philosophies. They were blueprints, mental drills, and they still work if you have the will to apply them. Number 3. The dark psychology of regret. Guilt is a leash. Regret is not a virtue. It's not noble. It's not moral, and it's definitely not healing. Regret is a trap. You've been programmed to believe that guilt is the price of growth, that to evolve, you must first suffer, feel bad enough, beat yourself up enough, drown in remorse. Then maybe you'll become a better person. But here's the truth they don't want you to hear. Guilt doesn't make you better. It makes you weak. It makes you slow, vulnerable, predictable. Guilt is the leash society puts around your mind, so you don't run too far, so you don't rise too high, so you stay exactly where they need you, manageable. Let me show you how deep this runs. You make a mistake. You feel the sting. Good, that means you're not a sociopath. But then what happens? You carry it, you replay it, you narrate it to yourself over and over again until it becomes your identity. Now, instead of learning, you're looping. Instead of detaching, you're decaying. And worse, the people around you. They sense it. They know you're still guilty, still ashamed, still emotionally exposed. So they use it. Regret makes you controllable. Ever noticed how some people love to remind you who you used to be, what you did wrong, where you failed? That's not for your growth. That's a strategy. Emotional blackmail is real. It's not loud. It's subtle, strategic, and it always begins with, remember when you... They dangle your past like a chain, and if you bite, if you flinch, if you apologize again, you've just given them control over your mind again. Now you're no longer speaking from strength. You're negotiating from shame. Marcus Aurelius didn't play that game. He didn't wallow. He didn't beg. He didn't build a personality around his flaws. When he made a mistake, he recorded it, analyzed it, and then moved the hell on. Why? Because he had a continent to rule, an army to lead, a mind to sharpen. He didn't have time to feel sorry for himself, and neither do you. The Stoics believed in one thing above all: control what you can, accept what you can't, discard what's irrelevant, and regret, once the lesson is learned, is irrelevant. You cannot master your mind if you're still bleeding from wounds you refuse to close. You cannot build a future if you're still haunted by a past you refuse to let die. So if there's a mistake you're carrying, let this be the moment you set it down, not emotionally, logically. Dissect it, learn, then burn it. Because if you keep dragging it into today, you're not learning. You're self-sabotaging. Your mind is a battlefield. Regret is the landmine, and you are the only one who can disarm it. Number 4, your mind is a battlefield, and most people lose before breakfast. Your alarm doesn't just wake you up, it signals the first shot of war. The moment your eyes open, you're under attack. Not by the world, not by other people, but by your own mind. And if you don't know how to fight back, you lose the day before it even starts. You see, your thoughts are not loyal. They are not innocent. They are not always yours. They are shaped by everything you've consumed: old memories, social programming, trauma, doubt, the voices of people who told you what you could never become. They all whisper before your feet even hit the floor. You think you're just waking up. You're actually walking into combat. There are 2 versions of you. One is soft, emotional, distracted, a slave to yesterday's chaos. The other is sharp, cold, tactical, unbothered by anything that doesn't serve the mission. They fight every single morning, right behind your forehead. The weak self says, "Stay in bed. You've already messed up too much. Scroll a little, escape reality." But the higher self, the one Marcus Aurelius fed every dawn, responds with silence, then action. It doesn't negotiate with weakness. It acts, deliberately, relentlessly, because once you move, the enemy loses. Understand this: every morning is psychological warfare, and you can't win a war by being passive. You don't need motivation. You need a protocol. Here's what that looks like. Cut noise before it starts. Don't check your phone. Don't open your mind to the world until you've taken control of it yourself. Command your body first. Cold shower, stretch, movement. Even 1 minute of discomfort sends a message: I am in control now. Repeat a single, brutal phrase, something surgical, something that reminds your brain who owns it. For example, I command, I do not react. Say it before your feet hit the ground. Say it when your emotions try to crawl back in. Say it until weakness backs off. Your mind wants to drift, to sink, to default. You don't let it. You intercept the drift. You cut off the voice that tells you to stay asleep, mentally and emotionally. You are not a civilian. You are not average. You are a strategist, and your first victory is waking up on your terms. Not as a servant to yesterday, but as the general of now. Number 5, emotionless reflection. Extract power from mistakes without attachment. Mistakes don't weaken you. Your attachment to them does. You've been taught to reflect with feeling, to cry over it, to feel it fully. But here's the brutal truth. Emotionally reliving your mistakes doesn't sharpen you. It softens you. It keeps you trapped in a cycle of self-punishment, and the more you feel, the less you think. This is why Stoics didn't fear mistakes. They dissected them, not with emotion, but with precision. Imagine you're holding a knife. One version of you stabs yourself over and over again with your guilt. The other version puts that same blade under a microscope, studies it, learns from it, and files it away as a weapon. That's the difference between emotional reflection and strategic reflection. Marcus Aurelius failed too. He wasn't perfect. But when he reflected, he did so as a scientist, not a victim. He'd write, "If I am disturbed, it is not what has happened that disturbs me, but my judgment of it." He didn't ask, "Why did this happen to me?" He asked, "What part of me allowed this?" That is how you take back power, by making everything your responsibility, even what wasn't your fault. Because when it's your responsibility, you can reshape it. You can weaponize it. Here's how to practice emotionless reflection. Write the facts, not the feelings. Don't say, "I felt betrayed." Say, "I ignored red flags. I overestimated loyalty. I failed to enforce boundaries." That removes victimhood. It installs clarity. List 3 things you missed, not to shame yourself, but to train your detection system. Mistakes become data. Answer this cold question. How can this mistake serve my future advantage? If your mistake doesn't give you a tactical edge, it's still controlling you. The weak reflect to feel better. The strong reflect to be better. One sits in the wreckage. The other builds a weapon from the rubble. So the next time your mind tries to pull you back into something you regret, pause, breathe, and run the drill. I see it. I name it. I strip the emotion. I apply the lesson. That's emotional detachment. That's inner domination. That's Stoic spark. Number 6, rewire or rot. You either reprogram your mind or let it decay you. Let's make something clear. If you are not actively reprogramming your mind, you are decaying. There is no neutral, no pause button. Your thoughts are either being sharpened or they're slipping into chaos. Most people, they don't even realize their mental operating system was installed by accident. By their parents, by school, by trauma, by media, by failure. They're running on scripts they didn't write, beliefs they never questioned, limits they never consented to. And because they never rewire, they rot. Your mind is a code base. Every thought you repeat is a line of code. If you say, "I'm not good enough," "I always mess things up," "I never get it right," congratulations, you're programming weakness. And that code runs 24/7 until you overwrite it, deliberately, relentlessly. This is why Marcus Aurelius journaled daily. He wasn't just venting, he was debugging his mind. He wrote lines like, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He was updating his mental code every day. Ask yourself, what have you done today to overwrite weakness with precision? Here's how to begin your rewiring. Interrogate the thought. Don't accept your self-talk as truth. Interrogate it like a hostile witness. Is this belief helping me dominate, or is it making me submit? Write the countercode. For every disempowering thought, install its opposite. Example, "I always fail," becomes, "I adapt until I win. I am strategic under pressure." Repetition is reputation. A belief becomes truth through repetition, not feeling, not evidence. Repetition. That's how propaganda works. That's how conditioning works. And that's how you rebuild your inner world. If you're feeling stagnant, trapped, unmotivated, that's not laziness. That's corrupted code. You've been running loops of doubt for years. So don't expect one day of clarity to fix everything. This is war. Daily reprogramming, relentless updates, brutal honesty. Because here's the truth. Your mind is either your operating system or your virus. If you don't take control of what's running, it will run you. Number 7, the death of yesterday. Live like you died last night. Imagine this. You wake up, but you have no memory, no name, no past, no story, just breath in your lungs and the present in your hands. That's not a fantasy. That's how the Stoics lived. As if they died last night, and today is a second chance earned in silence. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." Most people read that as poetic, but it was never meant to be poetic. It was meant to be a trigger, a code to wake the mind up from its sleepwalk. You keep living as if you'll always have tomorrow. That's why you delay. That's why you scroll. That's why you carry your past like a corpse on your back. But what if you started your day like this? Yesterday I died. Today I've returned, not to repeat, but to dominate. How different would you move? How sharply would you speak? What would you no longer tolerate? Living as if you died yesterday destroys your excuses. It annihilates your hesitation. It makes every second heavier because you understand how rare it is. Here's how to install this mindset. Erase the identity loop. Don't wake up and say, "I'm someone who failed." Say, "That person died." You're no longer obligated to their mistakes, their pain, or their patterns. Reclaim the present like stolen land. Enter the morning like a soldier dropped behind enemy lines. You don't have time for distractions. You have one objective: take ground. Operate with death behind you, not in a depressing way, in a focused way. Because death kills noise. It sharpens what matters. It makes weakness feel disgusting. You're not here to exist. You're here to execute. You're not here to justify yesterday. You're here to weaponize today. And if you carry the mindset that every dawn is your resurrection, you become untouchable. Because while others waste time being haunted by what's gone, you become the one who moves without chains. You want to start over? Don't wait for the calendar. Don't wait for permission. Just wake up one day and pretend you never existed before now. Because if yesterday died with the old you, there is no reason not to dominate today. Number 8. Begin again with strategy. Install daily dominance by design. Power doesn't come from emotion. It comes from repetition, controlled, cold, consistent. Most people try to start fresh with hope, with motivation, with vague promises to do better tomorrow. But you're not most people. And Stoicism isn't built on hope. It's built on systems. You don't feel your way to control. You build it, brick by brutal brick. So how do you begin again every day? Not by accident, but with strategy. Here's the architecture of daily dominance. 1. The tactical wake-up, control before chaos. Before the world has a chance to influence you, you influence yourself. This is non-negotiable. No phone, no input, no talking. Just silence and strategy. Before your feet hit the ground, say one commanding phrase out loud. Example, "Today I am the mind, not the emotion." This becomes the firewall between you and mental chaos. 2. The identity reset. You are not yesterday. Forget your name. Forget your history. Forget what you were supposed to be. Instead, ask, who do I choose to be today? Write it, speak it, make it real. When Marcus Aurelius woke up, he didn't reaffirm status. He reaffirmed mission. He reminded himself, you are not here to live forever. You are here to act justly, rationally, and without complaint. That became his spine. 3. The ruthless schedule. Dominate the day before it begins. If your day has no structure, the world will structure it for you, and the world is chaos. So plan with aggression. Identify one physical win, one mental win, one personal sacrifice, not 20 goals, not a to-do list that makes you feel busy. Just 3 battlefield wins that, if conquered, move you forward. Then execute, coldly, without hesitation. 4. The psychological shutdown. Kill the day at night. Every night, reflect with surgical clarity. Ask, what did I allow to control me today? What did I dominate? What must die before tomorrow begins? Then sleep, not as escape, but as preparation for rebirth. Because when you sleep with discipline, you wake up reborn and clean. Strategy is everything. Without it, your mind wanders, your identity fractures, your energy leaks, but with it, you become precise, you move with control, you become dangerous. You want to master the reset. Don't rely on willpower. build ritual, build repetition, build war plans, because when your day is engineered to install power, there's no room left for weakness. Number 9, final domination, the cold truth that will rewire you forever. Here it is. No sugar, no softness, no mercy. You've wasted enough time. You've carried dead memories like they meant something. You've apologized for things you should have weaponized. You've relived conversations in your head that the other person forgot about years ago. You've been loyal to your own suffering. But today, that ends, because now you know the truth. Yesterday is over, and if you keep dragging it forward, it will kill you in slow motion. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Do not disturb yourself by imagining your whole life. Each day provides its own gifts." This wasn't a comfort. It was a warning. Don't live in timelines, live in moments, and dominate those moments without emotion. Most people won't do this. They want to feel good. You want to be good, steel, unshakable, strategic. So here's what I want you to do now. Kill the old story. Burn it. The old you, gone. The guilt, deleted. The regret, extracted and weaponized. You start now. No ceremony, no validation, just silence and execution. You've just learned the 10 disciplines that emperors used to command their minds. Not to look powerful, but to be powerful. So if you've made it this far, it means one thing. You're not average. You're not weak. You're not asleep anymore. You're now part of the few who understand. Self-mastery isn't a goal. It's a daily, brutal reset. Comment below, "I died yesterday. I dominate today." If these words rewired you, if they hit you in the place that's been asleep for too long, smash the like button. And if you want to keep building this weaponized mind, subscribe to Stoic Spark. Turn on the notifications, because the next video won't just speak to you. It will challenge everything you were taught about strength, silence, and self-control. This is Stoic Spark. We don't motivate, we reforge. Every day, you begin again. Start now.